Zooey Deschanel. Zooey Deschanel.
Deschanel.
Hola, welcome to Into Dorkness episode 6/22, inching ever closer to that big landmark 25th episode. What are we going to do? We're going to pull out all the stops? We're going to have...
Yes,
gonna,
LeVar Burton as a guest.
We're going to have LeVar Burton, Geordie LaForge himself, his blind self, be like, I want you to wear this visor while we record.
Or these weird blue contacts.
I haven't seen it with the contacts yet, so...
You have, but we watched First Contact.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was about Geordie's eye contact.
That's
what the title referred to, I think. We were talking a lot during the movie.
He got the second one in the sequel, Second Contact. He was like, this is a lot. This is an hour and a half to spend on me just putting this contact in. It's like,
I'm happy for the screen time.
It's a very delicate procedure. Geordie LaForge's, LeVar Burton's Star Trek First Contact. Yeah, so we might have a LeVar. We might.
Who knows?
Card is subject to change.
Yeah.
Who knows? I was thinking for the 25th episode. Now this will, since we'll be finishing up
season one
next week. Maybe we'll celebrate the we'll celebrate the 25th episode on the 24th episode, just so there isn't a gap between doing a live episode or doing like a Mystery Science Theater esque episode.
How so?
Just watching an episode and
live
and chatting it up.
Is it going to be one we've already seen? Do we get to prepare notes?
Yeah, we can do that from the first season.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I think we should pick the one we disliked most. We'll have to have a vote between the two of us.
And the
listeners can chime in if there's one that they all want to hear us do. If Rob
Sayers,
probably our most staunch listener,
and John Nappick, Jumpin' Jonathan Nappick.
We've if either of them have a preference, I'd be open to suggestion.
We got a lot of Trek. We have 5 episodes this week, which is down from the 7 we were doing with the original series,
but up from the 3 to 4 we've been doing so far.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't feel a heat. These episodes are a lot easier to watch. I can't stress that enough.
Even the bad ones are easier to watch.
I mean, I could easily sit down and spend like an hour and a half watching 2 episodes, like no problem. As opposed to the original series, where even though it was a 50-minute episode, it felt
like 2 hours.
It took the entire hour, and I don't know. I don't know. It's enough to the point where, and this is something I started with the original series. Like when I didn't have to watch it, I was watching anything lighthearted. Last 2 weeks ago, I burned through the first 3 seasons of The League. I'd seen them all before.
Right.
Burned through them. Now I'm watching New Girl.
Right.
Which I had a conversation with someone over the weekend. Is it The New Girl or New Girl? I think it's just New Girl.
I think it's New Girl. Let me IMDb
it. With Almost Famous's Zooey Deschanel. What else has she been in? Elf.
She was in Yes Man with Jim Carrey.
She
was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Didn't see that
with
either.
The Hobbit's Martin Freeman.
With Mostly Deaf.
Mostly
Definition.
And Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Chests, Bill Nighy.
Bill Nye?
Nighy. The guy from Love Actually, who's the pop star, the aging pop star.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Orlando Bloom's daddy.
No, he's the Squid Face guy.
Davy Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Mary Beth's going to write in and tell me I'm wrong, I'm sure.
I don't like those movies.
They're fine.
Are they? Did Lone Ranger do well this weekend at the box office?
I don't think it did. I hope it didn't. Hang on, you Google that while I'm Googling New Girl.
I'm watching New Girl, watching the first episode.
It's just New Girl.
Okay, watching the New Girl. I'm gonna be like an old person, like, oh, you're watching the Star Trek,
right?
The New Girl.
You're on the Facebook.
And someone's like, just call it New Girl. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
Just something.
Sean Parker has one move, he pulls it every
They're like, dude, we were thinking about that anyway.
It was going to be The Lady in the Water.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of things.
Lots.
So yeah, I find myself like doing that just to kind of, and New Girl isn't terrible. A lot of people love it.
Well, I think what I've seen of the second season, I think, unfortunately, Becca's asleep because she could probably give you a dissertation on this. What I've seen of the second season looks a lot stronger from what I saw from the first. I think what Becca said was once they figure out it's really an ensemble and it's not about her and her wacky roommates, it's about all of them as roommates, that the show really works better. And I don't know if they find that until the second season, but we were also talking about, how just like anything, you were accusing me of being an apologist because I liked an episode of Community from this past season.
The fourth season of Community was just awful.
It was rough.
Well, was it awful?
It was just there.
Or was it?
I know there were parts that were outright awful, but for the most part, it was just inoffensive.
It was like the off-brand potato chips of sitcoms.
It's like
they're not wavy Lays, they're not Ruffles, they're not just basic like Lays.
It's salty, it's greasy, but it just doesn't taste quite right.
Yeah. It's like they're $1, but what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for $1.09, I can get a damn good bag of kettle cod, Cape Cod, kettle cooked, salt and vinegar chips,
Cape Cod
are amazing.
The Kennedys of chips.
The Kennedys, they're the Camelot of chips.
This podcast brought to you by Cape Cod chips.
I wish
too. That would be a get.
Yeah. Just anything that's not like overtly awful.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just because there was a time whenever we would take draw a line in the fucking sand over shit, not talk to people about it. And I think I got kind of close to that with some of the conversations I had with people about Man of Steel, where I was just like, "Fuck you."
I talked to our good friend Conan about that this weekend.
Oh yeah.
I think he just liked the spectacle,
and that's fine if that's all you need. I like spectacle too, but for me, maybe if it had been any other superhero, I wouldn't have cared.
That's why I'm kind of worried about Pacific Rim this weekend.
Because you think it's going to be all spectacle?
Yeah, I think it's going to be big show, no results.
Really?
Yeah.
You really think that?
I'm worried about that.
Okay. Well, the reviews I've read actually say that they hide in most of the promotional materials. There's a pretty strong human story that they just ignored in all the trailers and stuff. But I don't know. I'm
Sons of Anarchy hooking up with that Japanese chick? Because that would be hot.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know that... I know some plot details, but I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil it.
You're a spoiler.
I ruin everything, and I apologize for everything. Well, there were things I liked about it. That was your complaint about me. Is you're like, I don't like this. I'm like, there are things I liked about it.
Were there things you liked about When the Bough Breaks, the first episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation we'll be discussing this week? Do you even remember what that episode was about?
Shit, hang on.
It's about kidnapping.
Oh, yes. That was this week?
It's about felony intergalactic kidnapping.
I actually really did like this one.
I did too.
This one might have been my favorite from this week. I don't know. Looking at the others, I think it might have been. Coming of Age was good too. Heart of Glory was also good. This and Coming of Age are both Wesley-centric episodes. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching these episodes, and I'm like, and I've spoken about this. This is on tape or wax or
celluloid, whatever it is.
It's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud, to the cloud. I don't mind Wesley that much. And I say that with such hesitance because I know he's like a pariah. He's reviled
right.
In the Trek world.
Right.
And I was talking to the aforementioned Rob Sayers and the lovely Mary Beth and Tits McGee, her sister. And I was like, I kind of like Wesley. And they're all like, yeah, Wesley's great. He's fine. I think maybe it's different if you were a kid when the show was on. As opposed to if you grew up watching the original and then Next Generation comes along and they're like, this is Star Trek now. And there's this kid who's solving everything every week. Whereas if you're a kid, it's like Batman and Robin, right? If you're a kid, Robin's awesome because. Well, does he take a more active role in the later seasons? I think eventually they write him out. Yeah, I thought at some point he in the fourth or fifth season he's out, and so if it's like this, if it's like the first season where he wasn't even in a couple 3 or 4 of those episodes that we watched. Yep, it's true. So I mean,
I don't mind him at all. I think the acting's a little.
I thought it was going to be like every single week, like, oh, how are we going to get out of the way of this Klingon warship? Was like, oh, what you got to do is do. Like, thanks again, Wesley.
Like the show would just hit the Wesley button anytime they wrote themselves into a corner.
It's not like that at all.
No, I like.
And his character is that he's a really bright, really intuitive kid. Like he's like what he's smart at. He's like genius level. He's like Mozart level.
He's going to be the Mozart of spaceships or something.
Yeah, like warping.
Whatever. According to the Traveler.
Well, there's this planet called Aldea that's supposed to be like super dope.
But it's been hidden.
I can't know. It's like Atlantis. They make a
Space Atlantis.
They make a reference to the ancient,
the Atlanteans.
The ancient Atlantis of the ancient Earth, and I'm like, it's not. I mean, you guys are like 500 years ago.
Come on.
So they find it. They make contact. The Aldeans do, and they're like, "What's up? You guys found us? It was so dope." And they're like, "We're being scanned, but like only like the kids." Like that's weird.
Yeah.
And then Troy's like, they want something. Can sense it, but
they're lying about it, like what they want. Right?
Well, they don't want to tell us because they're like wicked nervous that we're going to say no.
Right.
And right then, I was like, they scan the kids. They want something that they're worried.
The title of this episode is "When the Bough Breaks,"
and I was like, it's the kids because I mean, my daughter. That'd be the only thing I'd be like, no way, you can't have it. Like my car's like, I don't live too far from work, and
right. I'll find ways to deal without the other stuff, but you can't take my kid.
And my Xbox, because I mean, it's so versatile.
Central to your life.
It's so versatile. Yeah, I can
this
play
podcast
games on it.
brought to you by Xbox 360.
So, anyways, Riker, Dr. Crusher, and Troy are beamed down to the planet, and sure enough, the Alden's like,
aren't they just yanked down too?
Yeah, that's right. Because the Enterprise they can't beam through because of the shield.
Yeah,
that the planet has.
They have a big ass shield.
But the Alden's like, well, we can beam you in, no problem. So they beam them down, and they're like, all right, look, we'll level with you. We want the children.
We can't have any of our own.
Our insides are all mixed up.
Right. You guys see Lost? It's kind of like that.
They're like, oh, from ancient Earth. Like, shut up with that shit. It's not that old.
That classical teleplay.
But yeah, everyone is like super barren. Like, super barren. Like, we can have no kids.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
And so they want 5 kids to continue their society.
They're 5 best kids.
I was like,
that's fucked up. You need to take at least 3 boys and 3 girls. Okay, don't leave somebody, the odd man or woman, out.
I was like, yeah, but that kid eats paste. I don't
like.
And they're willing to trade, I guess, like
some super high tech technology,
like PlayStation 89s or whatever they're up to at that point.
Xbox 2s.
Wow, that's a long shelf life for the Xbox One. All right.
Yeah.
And of course, the 3 of them are all like, no, that's butt fuck crazy.
Right.
The Aldens, of course, accept this, thank them, and the episode ends. Oh wait, except for the 5 cases of felonious intergalactic kidnapping.
Yes, they snatched the kids anyway, including
they took the children.
Including Mr. Wesley Crusher, he of the rainbow sweater.
Who's like the king kid. He's
the oldest kid. They take all these children and a teenager.
Elementary school children. Like 6 to 9, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're young. Somewhere between like the 6 to 10 range.
Yeah. And then like a 14-year-old who's probably got like pubes and like
and he's got he's jerking off now thinking about the people on the bridge.
Thinking about Deanna Troy for sure. I can't fucking tee that.
And she can read his mind. She's just like
she's like, that's filthy and kind of erotic. I'm conflicted.
I'm sensing some real conflict in myself.
I can't even talk. I gotta go. And Picard's like, why did Troy leave the bridge so quickly?
That was weird.
Anyways, that's another episode. Well, that's some slash fic that we're writing.
Slash fic.
So Wesley and these 4 other kids that we've never seen before and we'll never see again.
Right.
They're beamed off the Enterprise.
One of whom hates calculus.
Yes, he hates calculus. That's important to know. He hates calculus.
This little boy who shouldn't be in calculus for another decade.
Well, it is the future.
I know.